I'm Ashley Culp, and I'm a marketing executive and have worked with all different brands, including Motown, BET, Crown Royal, VH1, Comedy Central. The names in the list go on and on, but brand marketing is my expertise.
Well, I think Motown is one of the biggest brands in the history of the world. So let's talk about what you did with the Motown brand at Universal.
Right. So Motown was a part of the purchase that Universal did when they bought PolyGram Records. And so when they brought Motown into the fold, they wanted to really maximize the Motown. Everyone understands that the power of Motown, the music, the memories that goes so far back, and we knew that there was power in the name Motown. And so the idea was, what can we do to really maximize that in the new age? So when I came on, we were really focusing on maximizing the catalog. So what that meant was going back into some of the great songs and putting them together in special box sets, putting together special editions, songs that may have been, Jackson 5 ABC that hadn't been unearthed, and we were going into the vaults and finding everything and finding songs that Marvin Gaye had created that they'd never heard before, and then putting those out. And so that was a big part of what we were doing. But in addition to that, another part of what we were doing was looking for opportunities outside of music. So licensing opportunities, whether we're talking about merchandise, we're talking about clothing, fashion, and we got into everything from Motown Monopoly. We did a Motown Monopoly deal. We did a Motown karaoke singing machine deal, where we actually took, instead of people doing karaoke tracks with Motown, which they do all over, every place is playing a bunch of keyboard and synthesized version, we went in the vaults and stripped down all the vocals out except for the backgrounds, and then put those out as karaoke tracks. So when you're singing My Girl, The Temptations, my girl, my girl, my girl, right behind you, no matter how good you sing or not, but you're able to do that. So we were just trying to be creative and really hit the areas where Motown connected with people. We also did a great Motown Remixed record, and because what we found, which isn't surprising, is that anyone who's ever been associated or touched by Motown still has it in their heart. So what we did is we went out to all the hot producers of the day. So we had Questlove, we had the guy DJ Green Lantern from Eminem's crew, we had Salam Remy, DJ Smash, all these different guys. All of them loved Motown, and what we did is we gave them the Pro Tools files to their favorite song, which one you want to do. And so they pulled it together, and we ended up putting out an album called Motown Remixed. So all these new imaginations of what Motown was, because Motown lasts forever because it lives inside so many different people. And so, Questlove, he's one of the biggest music guys, a huge music head, DJ, drummer, and everything. And I interviewed him for this particular project, and he was talked about when he was a kid and what Motown meant to him, and it's still, a part of his heart. So we just wanted to kind of put a light on that, shine that, and say, hey, Motown is still alive, Motown is still thriving, and there's new ways. The music is so great, is that it lasts forever, but you can also reimagine it. So those were some of the things that we did with Motown.
Well, I guess that Mickey's song "Dancing in the Street" was an easy.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about "Dancing in the Street." What did it?
Well, I think "Dancing in the Street" is so. Obviously it's associated with Martha and the Vandellas, so everyone knows that version. But so many other people have recorded it, and it's interesting how over 40 years it can take on different meanings. Obviously there's the regular meaning, dancing in the street, everybody's just having a party. But then, in the context of what was going on in the 60s, dancing in the street took on a different meaning. And so, it's just a fantastic song, and like I said, it's timeless. And hearing Mickey talk about him and Marvin Gaye writing that song together, is unbelievable when you think about it.
How many songs do you think Mickey has in the catalog? I
would guess, but I probably underestimate maybe about 250, but I'm guessing it's a lot more than that.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I used to know, but I don't know anymore.
Right.
So when did you meet Mickey?
So I met Mickey right when I came on to work for Motown. And how we met, it was really funny because he was talking to another part of Universal, this group that handles consumer products. And so somehow he met someone up there, and he was meeting with them, I think with Smokey. And so the guy says, you know, they were talking about a play or some other, you know, Mickey is involved in so many different creative outlets. So they were working on that in a whole nother division of Motown. And the guy who they were meeting with wasn't really a music guy, nice guy, but he wasn't really a music guy. And so at a certain point it connected with him. He's like, you know what, maybe you guys should talk to Ashley, you know, you should maybe talk to Ashley. So next thing you know, I went, he called me and I just happened to be available. I went upstairs in the meeting and met him, and he introduced me to Mickey, and that was it. So you know, so then I knew who he was, but then I went back to do more research on who he was. I knew he was a great songwriter and one of the original Motown guys, and I was familiar with some of the songs, but I didn't understand the breadth of all the things that he had done and all the different aspects to Motown that he had contributed to. And so once I got a picture of that, you know, he and I stayed connected. And I tell you, you know what, Mickey's like a mentor to me. And I really think a lot of my success of working with Motown is related to how he, you know, kind of embraced me and brought me into the Motown family. And so, you know, because you know, I was busy doing my job, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to work this job out, you know, when you start a new thing. And they were, Mickey was calling, he called. Then I said, oh yeah, I got to call Mickey back. A couple of days later, I forget he called again. He called again. He said he wasn't going to let me go. And then next thing you know, we, you know, started working together. And then I think he and I had a certain, I don't know, chemistry or whatever it was, but he just became a great mentor. And we put together, he helped me out with some big things. In fact, one time we were doing a special for NBC. NBC has a show called Star Skates. And so usually what they do is they have big musical artists perform, and then they have the top, you know, skaters, world champion skaters, skate to it or whatever. And so we were doing I had worked with the guy and come up with a Motown theme. And so we were doing a Motown, and I think we had the Temptations and the Four Tops who were booked, and Martha Reeves was supposed to go. And so next thing you know, Martha's backing out at the last minute. So I was actually in San Francisco, you know, visiting a friend. I thought everything was all put to bed. All of a sudden I get the phone call, this thing is breaking up. And I said, Mick, I don't know what to do. Martha is about, he said, hold on, let me get it. Next thing you know, we're on a three-way with Martha, what's going on? You know, well, you know, I can't work unless I get my morning constitution first, and they're up here trying to make me do this and blah, blah, blah. And listen, you know, I need you to do it. He cleared everything up and went on like without a hitch, you know. So those kinds of things he you know, kind of helped out with, and I feel like we became kind of a team, you know, because I was working at Motown as a current part of the current rendition, and obviously a lot of the former people were gone, but it was kind of a link. It was a way to keep a link with what had happened in the past, what had happened. But Mickey is so forward thinking. He's not stuck in the past. So he allowed me that opportunity to understand what had happened, as you know, as he puts it, where the bodies are buried, you know. But in the meantime, he was with me to help me take it to the future and new opportunities and new things. So that's how we met, and that's kind of the nature of our relationship.
When somebody says Mickey Stevenson, what do you automatically think?
Well, first I think brother, father, friend. So those are just personally, those are the things I think about. But then outside of the personal aspect, I just think of creativity, talent, writing, drive. You know, the thing about Mickey, you know, I've seen Mickey in different situations. I was living in New York, and he'd come out to New York to do work and do, you know, meetings and things like that. And, you know, Mickey at 2, 3 in the morning, it's not uncommon to hear tick, 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 just said, Mick, man, what's going on? He's like, I'm just working on my book now, and then once I get that done, I'm writing a new song for this, and then we got a play that's going on. So he has incredible drive. I think he has the drive. He has more drive than most, I'd say, 20-something-year-olds out here today. And actually, it's great you guys are doing this, because if you can, show that a little bit of, perhaps it'll be an inspiration, because you realize the work that goes into, all of the creativity and all the great things, that have come out. There's a lot of work and dedication and drive that has gone into, before Dancing in the Streets or whatever else was created.
All I had to do was push the button and say, go Ashley, right?
I know. I was like, wait a minute, you might have to shut me up.
No.
Okay.
Anything else, Bobby?
No.
Yeah.
You kicked us off right, man.
Yeah.
Started off.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is going to be a better day because you came in early.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. Oh, fantastic.
Good job, man. Excellent.
All right.